The night is silent, but Daniel's mind is loud. He lies awake, staring at the ceiling, thoughts racing like waves crashing against the shore. No matter how much he has learned, no matter how much he has let go, his mind still pulls him in different directions. Even after realizing that the self is an illusion, something remains, this endless stream of thoughts, emotions, and memories. If I am not the self, then what is this thing inside me that never stops thinking? Frustrated, he sits up, breathes deeply, and for reasons he can't explain, he finds himself walking back to the monastery. The wooden gate creaks softly as he steps inside. The lanterns flicker, casting long shadows on the stone floor. Ajahn Suriya is already waiting. Daniel sits before the monk, who watches him with quiet amusement. Ajahn Suriya speaks first. "You are troubled." Daniel sighs. "My thoughts won't stop. I let go of the idea of a self, but my mind is still here. Still thinking, still talking, still reacting." The monk nods, then gestures toward Daniel's hands. "Show me your mind." Daniel frowns. "What?" Ajahn Suriya tilts his head. "If the mind is real, if it belongs to you, then you should be able to show it to me. Where is it?" Daniel hesitates. He touches his temple instinctively, but something feels off. The monk picks up a small bowl of water and holds it up. "Look at this water," he says. "When the wind moves across it, ripples appear. Would you say that the ripples are separate from the water?" Daniel shakes his head. "No, they're just movements in the water." The monk nods. "And what if I asked you to show me a ripple? Not the water, just the ripple." Daniel blinks. "I can't. A ripple isn't a thing. It's just movement." Ajahn Suriya smiles. "And so it is with the mind." Daniel's breath catches. The mind isn't a thing, it's a process. Just like ripples on water, just like wind through trees. It appears, it moves, it changes, but it is not something that exists on its own. The monk leans forward slightly. "Tell me, Daniel, where do your thoughts come from?" Daniel hesitates. "I don't know." "Where do they go when they disappear?" The monk continues. Daniel frowns. "They just fade." "Then are they truly yours? Do you own them? Or do they simply appear and disappear on their own, like the ripples in the water?" Daniel feels something shift inside him. For so long, he believed his thoughts were him, that they defined him. But now, he sees something different. Thoughts are not possessions. They are passing movements in awareness. Ajahn Suriya continues. In Buddhism, we do not see the mind as a single thing. It is not like a stone or a house. The mind is a flow. Thoughts, emotions, sensations, all appearing and disappearing. It has no fixed form, just like the ripples. He gestures toward the forest beyond the monastery walls. Think of a forest. There is no single thing called forest. There are trees, roots, animals, wind, rain, constantly changing. The mind is like that. It is not one thing, but many processes coming together. Daniel exhales. Then, who is thinking? The monk chuckles. That is the question, isn't it? Ajahn Suriya picks up a candle and holds it between them. This flame, where is it? Is it in the wick, the wax, the heat? Daniel watches the flickering light. No, it's all of those things working together. The monk nods. And when the conditions change, when the wax runs out, when the air shifts, the flame disappears. Did it go somewhere? Daniel shakes his head. No, it just stopped. The monk sets the candle down. So it is with the mind. The monk sets down the bowl of water and gestures toward the night sky. Look up. What do you see? Daniel follows his gaze. The moon, The stars. Ajahn Suriya nods. And when you look at the sky through a window, does the sky belong to the window? Daniel shakes his head. No, the window just frames it. The monk smiles. And so it is with the mind. The mind is not yours. It does not belong to you. It is simply a window through which thoughts, sensations, and awareness appear. But you are not the window, nor the sky beyond it. Something shifts inside Daniel. The mind was never a thing to control. It was only a movement, an experience, a window through which life passes. He sits in silence, watching the candle flicker, watching the ripples on the water. His mind, for the first time, feels lighter. And now, ask yourself, where is your mind? Can you hold it? Can you grasp it? Or is it simply an ever-changing process like ripples on water? If you're not your mind, then what are you? Are you ready to look beyond the window?